Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Jerry Tope.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The news is produced by the Dolores County Broadcasting Network in association with DCTV and supported by the Southwest TV Translator Association.
Here at the News at Noon show, we present news we hope you find interesting and report on local issues and events. Call us with your news tips or topics you'd like to see covered at 970-677-4119.
We appreciate you watching DCTV. Today's show is live Monday at noon and rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and re-aired on Thursday at noon, 3 and 6.
Today is July 10th, 2017. Now here's the news.
Political news from the Cortez Journal. Democratic State Representative Diane Mitch Bush met with voters Friday afternoon at the Durango Public Library. The Steamboat Springs legislator addressed an eager crowd of more than 50 people. Bush announced last Thursday that she will challenge U.S. Representative Scott Tipton, Republican from Cortez, for Colorado's 3rd congressional district seat in the 2018 congressional race. She said that much of her policy is focused on energy efficiency, renewables, and infrastructure. Infrastructure is crucial, she said. As many of us know, in many areas in the Western Slope, there's no broadband, and we need it for education and businesses. Agricultural uses the internet more than it ever has. She stressed the importance of working together and listening to one another to find solutions. Colorado's 3rd congressional district is predominantly rural and includes 29 counties over 54,000 square miles. An outspoken environmentalist, Bush said one of her goals is to protect wildlife, water, and public lands. Many attendees voiced concerns about health care, renewable energy, immigration, and climate change. She also addressed women's rights, calling herself a feminist and acknowledging the struggles women face daily, including harassment and a fight for equal pay in the workplace. Last year, Tipton won re-election by about 15 percentage points in a race against former state senator Gail Schwartz.
From the Cortez Journal, firefighters Sunday evening beat down a small brush fire and residents pitched in with shovels and garden hoses after an apparent lightning strike in a residential area just south of Cortez. 2 Cortez brush trucks and an engine arrived within about 5 to 7 minutes of the 5 p.m. call, according to the Cortez Fire Protection District Chief Jeff Vandervoort. Most flames were extinguished by 5:30 p.m. and 1 brush truck had left the scene. Vandervoort said he expected mop-up operations to continue until about 7 p.m. The fire appeared to have started along a fence and sage and grass field behind the home of Jeremy McDonald, who lives in a small neighborhood across the road from the South 40 Golf Course and driving range at 25,409 County Road H. He and his neighbors doused the southern edge of the fire with garden hoses from their backyards. Firefighters attacked the roughly 1.5-acre fire on its eastern and western flanks as neighbors shoveled dirt onto the fence row into the smoldering brush along the fire's eastern edge. Flames threatened to spread to a utility pole at the northeastern edge of the fire but were contained. And in other local fire news, firefighters know that the Lightner Creek fire started inside a house and spread to the surrounding wildland, but they are unable to determine what caused the fire inside the house. The fire burned too hot, destroying any evidence that might lead them to the point of origin, said Scott Davis, spokesman for the Durango Fire Protection District. The cause will be ruled undetermined, he said. Firefighters don't suspect foul play. The Lightner Creek fire started June 28th and burned 412 acres a few miles west of Durango. It forced the evacuation of 170 homes for about 4 days. Federal and state firefighters spent more than $2 million battling the blaze. The investigation has been turned over to private insurance providers, which can sift through the ashes to determine issues of liability.
From the Cortez Journal, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has decided against fining a Wyoming uranium mine that spilled radioactive waste on U.S. Highway 191 south of Blanding, Utah last year. In a June 29 letter to mine owner Cameco Resources, the Federal Commission concluded that a fine of $35,000 was not necessary because of the company's acceptable corrective action plan and previous inspection record. Scott Morris, Deputy Regional Administrator for the NRC, also wrote, however, Cameco might face increased inspection and, quote, significant violations in the future could result in civil penalty. Twice a year, the mill accepts the radioactive sludge for permanent storage in its certified waste containment cells. Barium sulfate is a normal byproduct of the Smith Ranch in situ uranium mine in Converse County, Wyoming. In 2015, a waste shipment leaked en route to the White Mesa Mill. In 2016, a more severe leak spilled the toxic sludge onto the highway, leaving a trail of white paste behind the truck. It is not known how much of the 12 cubic yards of waste spilled en route. The driver said the load shifted and leaked after he braked hard near Meeker to avoid a deer. After the 2016 leak and spill, nuclear regulators halted Cameco shipments. Then, an inspection in November 2016 revealed 9 shipping violations, triggering corrective actions and public hearings to explain what went wrong. In a May 4th hearing with an NRC about the 9 shipping violations, Cameco outlined how it corrected the way it ships barium sulfate sludge to the White Mesa Uranium Mill south of Blanding. The inspection also revealed the company was misclassifying radioactive waste at a lower level than the actual shipment. Cameco said it has adjusted its testing methodology in order to classify radioactive waste accurately and would sample and test each waste shipment before transport, rather than take limited samples. Officials also said the company has improved hazardous materials training. After Cameco has completed its improvement plan, it will request another inspection. If approved, Cameco could be authorized to resume barium sulfate shipments to the White Mesa Uranium Mill.
From the Cortez Journal, Crow Canyon Archaeology Director Susan Ryan on Thursday spoke to a full house at the Sunflower Theater about Northern Chaco Canyon Outliers Project, an excavation that started in May on the ancestral Pueblo village northeast of Cortez. New information about what the Montezuma County region looked like more than 1,000 years ago could change how scientists and archaeologists view the present, she said. The project is mainly focused on the great houses in the Pueblo village, multi-story buildings that archaeologists believe housed several families at once. They appear in almost every ancient Puebloan settlement, according to Ryan. And the similarities between the ones in the densely populated Chaco Canyon and outliers like Montezuma County can teach historians how trade and social networks happened between various groups. The current excavation at what is called the Haney site has already unearthed 4 great houses and similar smaller buildings. Ryan said the data from these sites has made her geek out often. I only know 3 clusters of great house sites that exist in all of southwest Colorado, she said. The Haney site and other settlements uncovered nearby have very different architecture styles, showing that different cultures migrated into the Montezuma County area from farther south and west. Archaeologists have also found rare artifacts that were traded from New Mexico and Utah. One thing Crow Canyon archaeologists will continue to study in Montezuma County is the astronomical alignment of the many great houses, which may have allowed the ancient Puebloans to perform religious rituals based on the stars. Ryan said the Northern Chaco Canyon Outliers Project will likely continue for a few more years on the Haney site. The free event was presented by the Hisatsinaam chapter of the Colorado Archaeological Society and was the latest entry in the Sunflower Theater's Ideas and Lectures series. The next public Hisatsinaam-sponsored event will be a pottery sale and lecture on Mata Ortiz pottery at the Crow Canyon Archaeological Center on August 1st. To find out more, go online to crowcanyon.org.
From the Cortez Journal, after 5 years of involvement in both the Cortez and Dolores Chambers of Commerce, Rocky Moss has been hired as manager of both. Moss, who has served as the Dolores Chamber of Commerce manager for 3 years, started work in Cortez on July 3rd. Her time will be divided between the 2 towns, she said, and she will answer to both boards of directors. In Cortez, she is replacing Jeff Weinmeister, who served as a manager of the Cortez Area Chamber of Commerce for a little more than a year. Moss grew up in Cortez and returned to the county in 2002 after getting her bachelor's degree in technical communications and serving in the Navy. She sat on the Cortez Chamber Board for about 2 years until she left to become the chamber manager in Dolores. For several years, it's been a goal for both chambers to work more together, Moss said. Dolores and Cortez receive much of their business from tourists who visit Mesa Verde or other historical sites, and she believes they could attract more customers and business owners by working together. Both jobs are part-time, and Moss said she expects to spend about 20 hours at each office during the week. On Mondays and Fridays, she'll spend her morning in Cortez and afternoons in Dolores, and it'll be the other way around on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Although both chambers have similar goals and some of the same members, there are some key differences. The Dolores Chamber is also a visitor center, and it receives funding from lodger taxes on hotels, in addition to membership fees. The Cortez Chamber is funded solely by its members, including large companies such as Osprey Packs and Walmart, and small businesses like Stonefish Sushi, KSJD Radio, and Cocopelli Bike and Board. The Dolores Visitor Center recently hired 3 employees who will help to fill the gap left by Moss when she's in Cortez. Moss acknowledged that the 2 chambers haven't tried hiring a single manager in many years, and she's not sure yet whether it will work, but she hopes the change will result in stronger relationships between the 2 communities. Members of both boards seem to agree. Lloyd Calvert, president of the Dolores Chamber, wrote that she would act as a dual representative of both towns. We will be stronger working together to promote growth and opportunity than we would be alone, he said in the release. Kinsey Ertel, president of the Cortez Chamber, wrote that the organizations already have a strong relationship. Both chambers will meet in November to review the past year and discuss what they achieved and what they could do better. And now, let's take a look at our weather.
We are told by the National Weather Service that this west-southwest flow will continue to strengthen and try harder and will trigger more widespread showers and thunderstorms. A few of those over our region gave measurable rainfall yesterday and very few over 1/10 of an inch. Grand Junction has hit 34 straight days without a drop of rain and has its 6th place on the all-time list. The record was 49 straight days in 1904. Grand Junction Airport has had 5 days of triple-digit temps. We have a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms mainly after 3 p.m. today. Chances will continue basically through the week, with morning let-ups on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday possible. Amounts of rainfall should increase through the week. By the weekend, Hurricane Eugene is expected to be reduced to a depression and may or may not result in some moisture being run up our way. We'll watch that one and should have some more info by Wednesday. At any rate, it looks like a promising break from the heat and dryness. And when otherwise could we expect that here than when wheat harvest needs harvesting? The last half of July is supposed to be our monsoon season. Winds 5 to 10 today and tonight and for the next 2 days. Hot and dry conditions will persist across the portions of the west through the next 5 days. Red flag warnings are in place over much of the interior northwest, Snake River Valley, and the Great Basin. Nearly half of California has heat advisories and excessive heat warnings in effect. A Pacific front will pass through the Pacific Northwest and Intermountain region by Tuesday. Showers and thunderstorms will develop over parts of the northern Rockies and the adjacent high plains and will track eastward toward the upper Midwest by midweek. Low pressure over the northern plains will move eastward to southeastern Michigan, and boundary activity will begin to dissipate by Tuesday. Showers and thunderstorms will advance from the upper Mississippi Valley into the middle Mississippi Valley and eastward into the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. Some of these storms will have the potential to become severe and produce heavy periods of rainfall. Showers and thunderstorms will also be over parts of the Great Basin and southwest into the central and southern Rockies through Wednesday morning, and also along a decaying frontal boundary over parts of the southern mid-Atlantic and southeast westward into the western Gulf Coast through Tuesday. High temps for the next 5 days will all be in the upper 80s, 3 of a kind. Lows in the upper 50s, a full house of 58s and 59s. Thunderstorms and increasing possibilities of rain and rainfall amounts. Lightning-caused fires can still be a problem. Now back to the news.
From the Durango Herald, outside in the bright light and nearly 90-degree heat of a beautiful Colorado summer day, members of the Colorado state government and leaders from the outdoor recreation industry announced an agreement last Thursday to bring the Outdoor Retailer Show to Colorado. What this announcement proves is that Denver and the state of Colorado is indeed a global international player when it comes to outdoor recreational opportunities, said Michael Hancock, mayor of Denver. The announcement marks a tipping point in a process that began in February, when conversations between the retail show and Utah Governor Gary Herbert broke down over a difference of opinion on the management and importance of the public lands that are the lifeblood of the outdoor recreation industry. The retail show had been held in Salt Lake City for more than 20 years. More than once, the show considered leaving Utah over philosophical, particularly public land policies and differences. It finally did after Governor Gary Herbert signed a resolution calling on federal officials to rescind the Bears Ears National Monument, which President Barack Obama designated on 1.3 million acres of land in southeastern Utah considered sacred to Native American tribes. The show was under contract to host 2 shows in 2018 in Utah, but organizers had already said they were considering other options for the next year. The organization's biannual events attracted an estimated $45 million in annual direct spending to Utah. At Thursday's announcement, Hickenlooper said in addition to the economic impact of having the show in Denver, the real benefit comes from acknowledging the importance of Colorado's public lands and the state's stewardship of them. The Outdoor Retailer Show, which is held in July and November, will add to the snow sports industry's America Snow Show that is held in Denver each year in January. The state expects to see an economic impact of $110 million from the 3 shows. The benefits of the retail show moving to Denver are expected to extend beyond the Front Range, as it will make Colorado the hub for the outdoor retail industry and encourage existing companies to move facilities to the state or expand those already in Colorado.
Last week's CO2 report is in at 407.99. Week before last was 407.71. 1 year ago was 405.65. And 10 years ago it was 385.26. The magma that bursts out of volcanoes is propelled upward largely by dissolved gases. These are released into the atmosphere once the molten rock approaches the surface. The most abundant of these gases is water vapor. Scientists have long searched for a way to accurately measure volcanic water vapor emission rates. A possible new method to do just that, based on research conducted at the 6,000 meter high Sabancaya volcano in Peru, has produced a lot of data to go on. 6 months prior to the onset of the volcano's current eruptive crisis, which began in November of 2016, the team measured the volcanic water vapor output using a method called passive visible light differential optical absorption spectroscopy. DOAS, they call it. DOAS instruments measure the absorption of sunlight by gases in the atmosphere and the volcanic plume above them. The technique is widely used to measure sulfur dioxide emissions, but these were the first successful DOAS measurements of volcanic water vapor. The team found that prior to the current eruptive phase, the Sabancaya plume contained an exceptionally high 1,000-to-1 ratio of water vapor to sulfur dioxide. They hypothesized that Sabancaya's buoyant magma rose to shallower depths and began to boil off water stored in the volcano's underground network of fluid-filled cracks and fissures called its hydrothermal system. This commonly happens prior to volcanic eruptions, but scientists hadn't thought to use DOAS to detect possible pre-eruptive release of water vapor. The team suggests that visible light DOAS stations could be set up around the world to detect when other active volcanoes are getting ready to blow their tops.
Now for a focus on business. This from the Durango Herald. A Quaker summer camp in Pennsylvania got Deborah Swanson interested in herbal medicine at a young age. Swanson, the owner of Dancing Willow Herbs on Main Avenue in Durango, has been a clinical herbalist for more than over 20 years. The Quaker camp was a farm camp, and it was about taking care of animals and gardening. I remember going out with the counselors, and they would point out medicinal plants. Swanson said, "We were chewing on roots and digging up things, and it felt so right to me. Being in a rural environment just fed my soul." The passion led Swanson to open Dancing Willow's Herbs, an herbal apothecary, in 1992. The store started in a cubby in a basement and has grown to what it now is. "I've grown it as a practitioner along with it," Swanson said. Swanson grew up outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in Montgomery County, with a mother who encouraged living a healthy lifestyle. Her mother was doing yoga before it was a trend, Swanson said, and she was always surrounded by health-conscious individuals. "My mom was engaged in health and nutrition. I had the cardboard whole wheat bread while my friends ate soft bread. I ate natural peanut butter, and my mom was making granola." After graduating high school, Swanson took a road trip with friends to work in Yellowstone National Park. It was then she realized how strongly she connected to the West. She learned to backpack with an herb book in hand and spent most of her time in the mountains. Swanson said she began using her friends as guinea pigs for her herbal remedies. She then went on to study at Naropa University in Boulder and Fort Lewis College, and after graduating, she opened her store in Durango. Swanson said she has treated thousands of people for various ailments, often using the products she makes in her own laboratory.
From the Cortez Journal, the driver of a one-vehicle crash that sent 5 people to the hospital on July 4th has been charged with drunken driving and other offenses by the Colorado State Patrol. According to an accident report, Samuel Jelly, 24, of Aneth, Utah, was driving a Ford Explorer SUV southbound on County Road 38, which is the West Fork Road, when he crossed over the center line and went off the opposite side of the road, crashing into boulders and a grove of trees and stopping just yards from the Dolores River. 2 of the victims were minors. One was seriously injured and was airlifted to San Juan Regional Medical Center in Farmington, said Colorado State Trooper James Saunders. The other was taken to Southwest Memorial Hospital in Cortez. Saunders said that in addition to the DUI, Jelly was charged with careless driving, causing bodily injury, driving without a valid driver's license, child abuse, possessing an open container of an alcoholic beverage, and driving without proper child restraint. He was returning from a fishing trip, according to the report. An additional charge of vehicular assault is being considered by the 22nd Judicial District Attorney's Office, Saunders said. Adult passengers Richard Chili, 49, and Glenn Whitehorse, 52, also were transported to Southwest Memorial Hospital. The vehicle had New Mexico plates. Dolores and Rico fire departments responded to the accident, as well as Montezuma County Sheriff, Colorado State Patrol, Southwest Memorial Hospital, and San Juan Regional Medical Center. A section of the road was closed while responders tended to the victims.
Here's today's High Canyon Country Happenings. A summer program for the Native American youth will be offered July 10th through the 14th from 9 a.m. to 3:40 p.m. at the Toyac Education Building. Sky Vision Camp Create Camp is free and open to children 8 to 14 years old. A lunch and snack will be provided. The program offers workshops in woodworking, cartooning, guitar, beading, and flower arranging. Recreation activities and a small Bible study are also planned. Youth will choose a discipline to learn, then give a presentation at the end of camp to parents and friends. The summer program is designed to get Native youth interested in learning something new that is positive, said camp organizer Christine Morales. It helps them feel good about themselves and is good therapy for at-risk kids. For more information, call Christine Morales at 970-946-3024. Registration is also available at the Education Building in Toyac on Sunset Boulevard. Volunteers for workshops and recreational activities are also needed, as well as guitars for students. Experience Colorado's magnificent, stunning wildflowers on a guided Jeep tour from Mild to Wild out of Durango. This limited edition specialty trip takes you into the fields of wildflowers at 12,000 feet and above. Participants have the opportunity to walk gentle trails amidst towering peaks. Tours available are daily throughout the wildflower season, which goes from July 14th to August 6th. Morning and afternoon tours available. Prices range from $74 to $149. And this Friday, July 14th, at the Cortez Cultural Center, Navajo and Lakota couple performs powwow dances, including fancy dance, hoop dance, and shawl dance. It's free and entertaining for the whole family. The performances start at 7 p.m. And Sunday, July 16th, at the Cypress Cafe in Durango, a musical presentation featuring the core duo of Ashley Edwards and Jesse Ogle, aka Hello Dollface, travels as a 2 to 10-piece live band, most often touring as a power quartet, kicking the sound with gusty, fresh, soulful, raw energy over a tight rhythm section. This is a great opportunity to hear their unique musicscapes. And if you missed any of those details, don't worry. All of the happenings are listed on the DCTV Facebook page online. If you have news or event information you would like us to share, send us an email at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call us here at the station. The number is 677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. A reminder that this program is aired live at noon Monday through Wednesday and rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. Aired again Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order.
And please check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and join the local conversation and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, I'm Jerry Tope. Thanks for watching.